What's up, guys? Gonna make a video today. Gonna review Bitcoin. Gonna review Ethereum. Gonna talk about an EOS call I made on Facebook group last night, and gonna talk about a few altcoins, specifically Trex, Ven, Strat, Waves, and I'll get to XLM as well. So I'm gonna start off right now with Bitcoin. Bitcoin. Some FUD that came out. A lot of people are kind of bearish about Bitcoin. I'm somewhat bearish. However, if you want to go off technical analysis, it's still holding some important lines. What are those lines? Basically, those parabola lines I talked about before. I think they were like this. So this parabola line, if you come down from the China FUD back in September 14th, we hit a low of 3,000 and we made highs across this line, and then eventually we broke it and we started a new paradigm of 5 digits at 11,300. We had a sell down, we came below it, and then we closed above it on the daily. And that's the main thing you want to keep in mind. Like, sometimes something breaks a trend line and you panic and you sell, but really you need to wait and see if it closes above it or not, because that shows you who's in control. And here it shows you that no, overall the price is closing above it. And if you switch to the line chart, it just looks like we broke through it and we never even tested it back. And even now we're still way above it. We're making contact with it, but that contact is causing people to get scared and close and sell. I had a position in a coin that I sold. I held everything through these things, but I had one where I just didn't get the optimal entry, and I had a limit to how much I was willing to go down. But I'm pretty sure I'll get a better entry on that one. But yeah, so this is the line that kind of confirms this uptrend, and we're wicking off it, and we are basically, from here we can go two ways. We could be beginning the formation of a big ascending triangle that takes us to April, and I think that's way too long before a breakout. Or we could be doing something such as something kind of like that. And I think this is more likely that we're going to come up to this area, and we could even break it. If you want to show some harmonic lines, the main thing I was looking for throughout this whole time was, I was fucking put this backwards. Okay, I was always looking for a breakthrough of this area right here. The price, I want to see it get above here and stay above here, above this 786 fib. And every time we've come close between here and here, these two areas of the fibs, there's always a lot of shorting pressure when the price sells off. People want to short from here. And if you look at it objectively, we sell off, we come up, we tag it, we wick it, we go down, we make a higher low, we come up halfway, we sell back down, we make another higher low. And now I think we're going to really push towards this area here, because all the FUD, all the news, everything, I couldn't get it to break down here. Somebody wants it to fucking go down, but it's kind of somebody else wants it to go up, and the guy who wants it to go up seems to have a bigger stack. So yeah, I'm looking for this area for a possible another move down, rejection, and just keep trying to fill this range and just make a massive triangle. That's very possible. And this is good for alts, because Some people are like, oh crap, my alt went up, whatnot, but they don't understand that every time Bitcoin makes these impulsive moves down, their alts fall as well. And all the alts that I've been picking up, I've been getting a lot cheaper because I've been leaving my bids there and they've been getting filled on these sell downs. So yeah, don't really rush into your alt positions and start chasing them, because as Bitcoin is making up its mind, you're going to see that volatility in the other coins. They're going to be really good buying opportunities. So yeah, this is kind of what I'm moving with. I'm just kind of watching this triangle play out, and it might get a little bit more wide, like something like that eventually, if it does go up to this level and then it sells down again. But as long as you make these higher lows and these higher highs, I would just keep playing the market. I wouldn't really worry too much. And let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much the main things I'm kind of gauging Bitcoin on right now. And I talked about in the other video Ethereum, the Ethereum pair. And basically there was this downtrend line. Found a lot of resistance on. I'm looking at yeah, we broke out this three-way cloud, the 3-day cloud, and I think we're probably going to come down to this area, 79 at some point. I think this might happen when Bitcoin makes a move up to that fib zone again. When Bitcoin tries to, from here, when it tries to make its move up here, I think that is going to bring the Ethereum Bitcoin value down to here. And if this holds a support, I think we're going to break through and just Ethereum is going to make some really big moves. If you want to look at Ethereum, I would look at Ethereum Poloniex Bitcoin pair. Why? Even though I don't trade on Polo and use the log chart, even though I don't trade on Polo, it's important to understand that back when Ethereum was on this tear, right, from here to here, Polo was a big exchange. Everybody was trading on Polo. Only recently people started to move to Bittrex and these other exchanges, or else Polo had a shitload of volume for a long time. So when you're looking at the Polo chart, you're looking at the price flow and the price structure of Ethereum when it was at its peak, and on the log channel, there's this perfect channel that's following, and I'm going to be keeping my eye on the Ethereum Bitcoin pair through this channel, because I feel like when it gets up here, there'll be some resistance, and then if it breaks out here, I think there'll be a retest, and then I think that's when this thing could go really crazy. I don't know if it could go that crazy, because a break of this channel would be, 1.52. To me, that's madness. But I'm kind of watching this channel, and there's this theory that this was the top of the alt markets. This was the top of the alt market, and once Ethereum started to fall, the alt started to fall with it. And once Ethereum kind of hit this zone, this is when the alts started to recover. This is the beginning of December when alts really started to take off. So I'm watching this pairing as a kind of gauge to kind of read the overall sentiment and market strength of alts at the same time. This thing could fall apart and the two won't be effective, related, but like with all technical analysis, you use what works until it stops working. So far, if it's working, I'm going to keep my eye on it. I'm looking for supportive here. If we end up in this cloud, we might get to the bottom of this, but that'd be pretty aggressive. I could see it pulling back to here if Bitcoin broke and its all-time high. I could see the kind of market structure bringing it down here, testing the bottom of the cloud, and then coming back up for a bigger wave to 0.5, 0.49. That would be around June 24th, and the bottom of this cloud would be around March 29th. And just to kind of gauge those dates, if you are expecting Bitcoin, like I am, to kind of just play that range, that triangle. That triangle can go out all the way till about February. So it's interesting to see how this is going to play out. If we go up more, we come back down more. But yeah, that's kind of my take on Ethereum. Look at the Polo Ethereum pair, and also watch for this cloud support. A trade that I made, I put a bid for, and then it got filled on, was EOS. And EOS has been very, very strong. This thing is trying to test its all-time high around here. I think it will. However, since I made that video about playing Ethereum pairs, I played EOS based on its Ethereum pair, and it just looked great on the chart. It just looked like one big cup and handle, and it was a good trade. I'll tell you where I got in at. So it hit down here, and then when I zoomed out, I hesitated a bit to get in here. The market went up, and then I placed the bid down. Around here, and I got filled at 83. I got filled right here on this big wick that came down, and I've been riding it up. And I'm gonna be watching this. I'm gonna be watching the Ethereum pair because I think EOS is gonna make some big moves, and I feel like EOS is a strong competitor to Ethereum. And if you just look at it from a fib perspective, we went up, we came down, we tested the 3862. You can draw it however you want. I like to start with the lower numbers at the bottom, but yeah, the 0.386, we hit it, and we just shot through this cloud. Here, we might move into this cloud a bit and then pop out. We have to wait and see. It's had a strong move. It might need to cool off. But yeah, I'm expecting this thing to break out of here. And I'm expecting a wave pattern, something like this. Yeah, something crazy. Because I mean, when you look at a coin like fucking Neo, right, and all the hype that's gone behind Neo, and now they have ICOs, and because of these ICOs, Neo's like at $120. You know what I mean? Something like EOS that has a really good guy behind it, and someone that's started lots of blockchain businesses, started lots of blockchain ICOs, raised a bunch of money, and just the way the aggressiveness of this chart moving up, the way this was being surprised. I remember like thinking about buying some of this when it was going down, but it just kept pushing down more and more and more and more. There was some good accumulation, and from there it just kind of took off. And I feel like the year is just starting. These guys have been quiet. There's a lot of buying volume and mega bull action going on with no news, no nothing really. You know what I mean? Look at that massive buy volume. You know, big wicks, big volume buys. So I think like something is going on behind the scenes. These guys have projects in the woodwork. People working on those projects are buying it. EOS banking on this long-term move, and you go on the fib. I mean, this thing could be worth 0.05 in Ethereum. It could go up to here first and make its correction down here. Something similar to this pattern playing out. We gotta wait and see how it moves. But so far, it's looking good. So far, it's a good buy. Try to buy a retrace against the cloud if you haven't got it in yet. But I am holding a bag of EOS for this year. I feel like this has huge up potential, and I think you're going to start seeing more and more of the news and plans that they've been working on start to come out. And what else do I have here? That was EOS, ETH. I want to talk about some altcoins, shitcoins, Tron. So I'm looking at Tron here. Um, it just broke through the 6-hour cloud. RSI should still go down a bit. I'm kind of looking for this, see what it's going to do. I think we're going to get a move down to this area, the 500s. So I'm placing bids in the 550s and up. And I think once we hit that, we will continue for a bigger move. It's one of these coins that there's just a lot of like shilling going on around Tron, which is good to ride. But whenever I see that kind of shit, I'm just kind of like, it turns me off. Because real companies, that when you're like, if you're doing business with a lot of big companies, you have all these like, what are they called? You sign like not a confidential disclosure or whatnot, and you're not allowed to speak and talk about what's going on. And this fucking CEO is basically just saying everything on Twitter. So sounds kind of weird to me. Let's see what this holds up if it breaks out here. I'm just gonna leave bids and see if I get filled or not. I'm not trying to buy it here and hope for the best. There is this trend line we're going up on, and we're on it right now. But I think looks like it's breaking through it on the 6-hour. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave bids here, and if I get filled, great. If not, whatever. Another one is Ven. Ven is one I wanted to pick up on with the rebranding, but now it's starting to look like it might pull down a bit. This is the 6-hour. The momentum's about to cross. I was looking for bids around this area right here. Should probably adjust this now. So this whole move, I'm looking to get back in around here. I have a bid at 36 area. This 36, just to see if we can maintain this kind of somewhat of a fucked up trend line that we dipped under. We kind of dipped under these under Bitcoin crashes, but there's sell downs, but there's some news and some good sentiment going around. So I wouldn't mind playing it around this fib zone and see if it continues up. If not, I'll sell off and try to buy lower. If it doesn't hold this level, I see it going probably around this area. Got a big move up. And yeah, that one was Ven. Strat. What am I seeing with Strat? Strat, bigger picture, looks great. You know, we went up, we came down 0.883, start a new market cycle. This one is moving a bit slower. You got to be more patient with Strat, but I think it has huge upside. I think we're headed to here next. This 0.23, this 0.5 fib area, this 3-day cloud. There's also some previous resistance around here. So I'm looking to do a swing up here and look for a re-entry on Strat. This thing, you just kind of got to be patient with it. It's a lot slow mover than a lot of the other coins. What else was the other one? Was waves. Let's look at the waves. Waves had to move down here. So we came down, double bottomed the 0.883 fib, and then from here we came and yeah, we made a move up. found support, found support, found support here, and then on the most recent candle, this is the one day, most recent candle, we've been just kind of retesting the support. We tested the 382, and this thing will slowly, I think, is just going to keep finding support around this cloud and then start to move up. I would grab some and just kind of hold it. There's rebranding going on around waves. Rebranding always causes hype and shilling and whatnot, but I think a lot of what happens in these markets is that, for example, we take something this impulsive, right? That fucking really big move, take this really big move up, and then you have people that buy here and buy here, and they say, "Oh, I'm not selling this until if this thing's gonna become worth more than Bitcoin." A lot of people get sucked into the hype, and you have people that buy ICOs of this shit. Like, imagine if you bought an ICO. Like, if you bought an ICO, you're like here, pretty much, and you have all this profit. Like, you put 10K in it, and now you have like a million or two. Like, you're interested in selling, but there's some people that buy it up here, and they're not interested in selling it yet, and they get fucked, and the price reverses on them, and they all go online because only the idiots buy up here. The idiots get around the other idiots, and they say, "What should I do with my waves?" And another idiot is like, hodl it. And next thing you know, they're holding it on this agonizing downturn, and just going down more and more and more and more and more and more and more. And this market, they start hating the fucking coin, But now that new money is coming in, a lot of new money, you see these exchanges fucking limiting the amount of people they can take in, reopening it up, and then what was it, in 1 hour, Binance had like 200,000 people sign up. Like, that's insane, ridiculous. And they don't have experience with waves. Like, the people that came in, the last herd that came in that has experience with waves, this new herd doesn't. And once this starts taking off, that new herd is going to chase this price and pump money into it. And these people, a lot of them are going to be like, fuck, I shouldn't have sold. And they might buy back into it and really cause this thing to go make an all-time high and start a new market cycle. So it's important to kind of understand like the psychology and the thinking of the players in the game and how they're observing it, and you see it with STRAT too, how it's really slow to get off and going. But once it starts going, the new dumb money chases it, and then these people that wish they held it, they come back and chase it, and potentially go up here eventually. Yeah, that is that, and I'm going to start posting some of my trade ideas on TradingView. I'm just trying to branch out and try to get myself out there on as many kind of platforms as possible. I think it can only help me. And this is my XLM chart. I'm just looking at this thing. Let me just explain what I see here. It's the same story with Bitcoin. This thing is moving kind of good with the Bitcoin pumps. I could see this thing coming up here to this zone and then selling down to this area. If you look at this 3-day cloud, it pushed out of it and it never retested it. Clouds a lot of times get retested. I get a lot of my entries off retesting clouds. Like, I won't play the breakout. I'll let it break out and then I'll place bids here and I'll catch my wick for continuation. And yeah, that's the scenario I'm seeing, where we come down here and then we make another move up. Unless, which I don't think is the case because some of the market structures, unless this was unless that's the scenario. You know, seems off, but if you break this down into, look at A, B, C. This just looks like a new market cycle, and I think this is just the first wave of it. This is how I'm going to be playing it. We had the move down to 3315. I think we're going to see a move up to this zone, which we're pretty much close to right now, and we're wicking 5,100, and then I can see it coming down to this 2580 area, and then continuing on for its second wave. And just to recap, the 3-hour cloud is around the same area. So I'm looking to get back into XLM around this area, and I'm looking to buy a lot, actually. I have good faith in XLM in 2018, and it moves with Ripple. Usually when Ripple's strong, XLM is strong, and to me it looks like Ripple could see a bit of a retrace. If you want to draw those same mnemonics out on this one, you get a move down to the 130 area. And I've been telling people a long time, like, if you're interested in Ripple and you want to hold it for the year, buy at $1.30. Because if you look at this thing on the 1 day, we come up, and then boom, we break out of it. And this thing, I think, will probably push up to maybe $2.60 one more time, and then sell down here. Because we never tested this area from the top. There's a huge gap here. And I think a lot of the smart money, the market movers, took profits, and a lot of people holding now. When I read Facebook forums, groups, or whatnot, a lot of noobish people talking about, should I hold it, should I sell it? People that bought too high. So I think this thing will cool off, and then it'll have a good year, though. Keep an eye for this trend line. We're right by it here. I can see this thing turning around, coming up to here, and then selling down. And yeah, that's basically the TA that I have for today. Let me see if there's anything else. I was holding a bit of Poet just off a tip. Let's take a look at Ethereum Classic, actually, because this thing, I think, is gonna really fucking catch some power. It's just, look at the suppression wicks. Like, there's so much selling pressure. There is someone that wants to drive this down. Like, this is a 1 day. Like it's all selling pressure. Like, this is retarded. Like, it wants to go, but someone is pushing it down, holding it down. They want to accumulate more, you know? So this is one that I'm looking to pick up on. However, I'm trying to get it a bit lower. I don't want to buy it at this price because it has some really nice swings, so it doesn't make sense. I'm just going to layer some bids and try to build positions on it. But when this thing starts taking off, it's going to take off hard. Heard the sentiment from a lot of people. These kinds of wicks, the selling pressures, usually a sign somebody knows something behind the scenes and wants to buy as much as they can. Like, look at that. That's a lot of volume. You know, that's a lot of volume. What the fuck is going on with Ethereum Classic? Something is brewing up there. You know, like, look, this was the average volume from April. This line. See, goes up a bit, comes down a bit, and then It just goes straight up. Even if, look at this shit. I just want to measure like the angle of this volume increase. I don't know if you guys can see that. 29%. In comparison to this is gonna be difficult. Yeah, let's say 8% on this move. You have an 8% move here, it's not double here. You have to ask yourself, like, sort of 14. This angle, basically the angle is showing you the gauge. Yeah, this thing is moving. So Ethereum Classic, if you're trying to swing it, look for whatever entry you want. However, if you have money and you just want to hold the bag, go ahead. I would highly recommend you do it. If Ethereum right now is 1,000 and this is at 30, I think this thing will go to 100 at least. And that's just crazy. What's happening today with this volume? Very unnatural. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Don't forget, check down below. I got a link to an ICO group that's full of awesome information. Like, if you really want to gauge which ICOs are really going to take off, join that group and just listen to what members are sharing about what they know and what kind of metrics that they're looking at, like Telegram join metrics, like crazy outside the box ideas that are working crazy. You know what I mean? So join it, it's free. Join the Facebook group, it's free. Like videos, subscribe if you like. I am coming out with some really cool stuff. I'm trying to find time to put together a trading course series for YouTube, specifically around crypto. Talk about some basic stuff, but I also want to kind of go into some other concepts that a lot of people aren't talking about, like how to spot manipulation, finding out tricks that whales use, a lot of ideas and content that no one's really talking about. I want to start to make more videos around there, but at the same time covering the basics of technical analysis for anyone that's new to technical analysis. So yeah, guys, I highly recommend you join that ICO group. It's really good. The Facebook group, we're working on it with more content. It's just I got so many things working on. I'm trying to prioritize, but I will be forwarding, making more breakdowns that I'll be posting to the Facebook group and also to my TradingView account. So guys, have a good one and make some money, and talk to you guys later.